The prospect of global nuclear disarmament has been a topic of intense debate among policymakers, scholars, and peace activists for decades. The idea that all nations could disarm their nuclear arsenals raises profound questions about international security, strategic stability, and the future of warfare. While the theoretical benefits of a nuclear-free world are appealing, the practical challenges of achieving such a goal are daunting. This article explores the implications of total nuclear disarmament, examining the potential benefits and risks associated with a world devoid of nuclear weapons. At the heart of the argument for nuclear disarmament lies the belief that the elimination of these weapons would significantly reduce the risk of catastrophic conflict. Nuclear weapons have long been viewed as a double-edged sword. While they serve as powerful deterrents against aggression, their existence also poses a constant threat of accidental launch, miscalculation, or escalation during conventional conflicts. The devastating consequences of nuclear war are well documented, with the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki serving as stark reminders of the human cost of nuclear weapons. Disarming all nations could potentially eliminate the existential threat that nuclear weapons pose, fostering a more stable and peaceful international environment. In a world without nuclear weapons, the dynamics of international relations would likely shift significantly. The concept of deterrence, which has underpinned global security for decades, would need to be redefined. Traditional military alliances, such as NATO, rely on the nuclear umbrella provided by member states possessing nuclear capabilities. The absence of nuclear weapons would require nations to develop new strategies for ensuring their security, potentially leading to an increased emphasis on conventional military capabilities and alliances based on mutual defense agreements. This shift could result in a reallocation of resources away from nuclear arsenals toward conventional forces, fostering a new era of military competition. However, the path to disarmament is fraught with challenges. One of the primary obstacles is the issue of trust among nations. The historical context of nuclear proliferation reveals a complex web of geopolitical tensions, rivalries, and mistrust. Countries that possess nuclear weapons often do so as a means of ensuring their own security against perceived threats from other nations. The prospect of unilateral disarmament can be particularly daunting for nations that fear they may be left vulnerable to aggression from adversaries. Without a robust verification and enforcement mechanism in place, the incentive for nations to cheat on disarmament agreements could undermine the entire process. Furthermore, the question of how to address the existing stockpiles of nuclear weapons presents a significant challenge. The disarmament process would require not only the dismantling of warheads but also the secure storage and disposal of fissile materials. The technical complexities involved in safely dismantling nuclear arsenals, combined with the potential for illicit trafficking of nuclear materials, raise concerns about the feasibility of a comprehensive disarmament regime. Countries with advanced nuclear capabilities may be reluctant to relinquish their arsenals without assurances that other nations will do the same, creating a stalemate that could hinder progress toward disarmament. The geopolitical landscape is also a critical factor in the discussion of nuclear disarmament. The emergence of new nuclear states and the potential for nuclear proliferation in volatile regions complicate the disarmament narrative. Nations such as North Korea and Iran have pursued nuclear capabilities in defiance of international norms, raising concerns about regional security dynamics. The fear of a nuclear arms race in regions with ongoing conflicts could deter countries from pursuing disarmament, as they may perceive nuclear weapons as essential for their survival. Additionally, the rise of non-state actors and terrorist organizations seeking access to nuclear materials presents a unique challenge that must be addressed in any disarmament framework. Public opinion plays a crucial role in shaping the discourse around nuclear disarmament. While there is a growing awareness of the dangers posed by nuclear weapons, the urgency of disarmament often competes with other pressing global issues, such as climate change, economic inequality, and pandemics. Advocacy groups and civil society organizations have worked tirelessly to raise awareness about the humanitarian consequences of nuclear weapons, emphasizing the moral imperative of disarmament. However, translating public support into political action remains a significant hurdle, as policymakers grapple with the complexities of national security and international relations. The role of international institutions in facilitating disarmament efforts cannot be overstated. Organizations such as the United Nations and the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, play critical roles in promoting dialogue, fostering cooperation, and establishing norms around nuclear non-proliferation. The Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, NPT, serves as a cornerstone of global non-proliferation efforts, but its effectiveness has been challenged by the slow pace of disarmament and the reluctance of nuclear-armed states to fulfill their obligations under the treaty. Strengthening these institutions and ensuring their ability to enforce compliance will be essential for any meaningful progress toward disarmament. In addition to the political and technical challenges, the ethical dimensions of nuclear disarmament warrant consideration. The moral arguments against the existence of nuclear weapons are compelling, as they fundamentally challenge the principles of humanity and the right to life. The catastrophic humanitarian consequences of nuclear warfare raise profound ethical questions about the legitimacy of possessing such destructive capabilities. Advocates for disarmament often invoke the principles of just war theory, arguing that the indiscriminate nature of nuclear weapons violates the ethical standards that govern armed conflict. In this light, the pursuit of disarmament can be framed not only as a pragmatic goal but also as a moral imperative. Despite the challenges, there are compelling reasons to pursue nuclear disarmament. The global community has made strides in recent years toward reducing nuclear arsenals and promoting disarmament initiatives. Bilateral agreements between nuclear-armed states, such as the New START Treaty between the United States and Russia, demonstrate that progress is possible. Additionally, grassroots movements advocating for disarmament have gained momentum, mobilizing public support and influencing policy discussions. The international community must build on these efforts, fostering a culture of disarmament that prioritizes dialogue, cooperation, and mutual understanding. The potential for a nuclear-free world is not merely a utopian dream, it is a goal that requires concerted effort and commitment from all nations. Achieving this vision necessitates a multifaceted approach that addresses the underlying causes of conflict, promotes trust-building measures, and establishes robust verification mechanisms. The role of civil society, academia, and the private sector in advocating for disarmament cannot be overlooked, as these stakeholders can contribute valuable insights and resources to the disarmament agenda. In conclusion, the prospect of global nuclear disarmament presents both significant opportunities and formidable challenges. While the elimination of nuclear weapons could lead to a more secure and peaceful world, achieving this goal requires overcoming deep-seated mistrust, addressing technical complexities, and navigating the intricate geopolitical landscape. The ethical imperative to disarm must be coupled with practical strategies that foster cooperation and dialogue among nations. As the global community grapples with the realities of nuclear weapons, the pursuit of disarmament remains a vital and urgent endeavor. A world without nuclear weapons is not only desirable but achievable through collective action, commitment, and a shared vision for a more peaceful future.